Is this the greatest match in WrestleMania history? Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 25, the 25th anniversary, or well, the 24th anniversary, if we're being brutally honest. Hi, my name is Steve, and I'm joined by the one and only Mr. NXSteve. Just to let you know, the timestamp you need is 1 hour, 52 minutes, and 33 seconds. We'll be talking about this classic match, but just before we do, let's hit up the intro. Exciting times indeed. Then the Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania 25 is the match we will be doing, and we will be starting in 40 short seconds time. In fact, it's just around about 30 at this point. But yeah, the Undertaker and Shawn Michaels obviously have had a rivalry that's gone for many, many years. Of course, it started in the 90s. Of course, they had the epic first ever Hell in a Cell match, of course, back in Bad Blood when Kane debuted. And they kind of were separated for a long time. Obviously, Royal Rumbles, they were, the final two in 2007, the first two in 2008. And it was here at the start of 2009 that they really heated up that rivalry. Of course, it was the good versus evil style rivalry, the Christian beliefs, born again Christian Shawn Michaels against the dark side of the Undertaker. But we're going to get ready to hit press play in 3, 2, 1. Press play. As we are going to see Shawn Michaels' epic entrance to this WrestleMania as well. But obviously, that's pretty much the gist of the storyline, the good versus evil, because Shawn Michaels was kind of portraying of what the Undertaker should be, this sort of born again Christian, how we can see the light rather than being part of the darkness. Of course, Shawn Michaels did beat Vladimir Kozlov. It was the first time Kozlov had been pinned in a singles match to get this opportunity to face the Undertaker. Of course, it was around the time period that everyone had to earn a match against the Undertaker at WrestleMania, kind of like you had to do for a championship as well, of course. And Shawn had not long gone off the program as well with JBL around this time period as well. Of course, JBL was the person that was funding Shawn Michaels before he managed to break away from JBL. So really fun stuff indeed what Shawn had gone through this period. And we've just seen this entrance here as he started high in the air, the very almighty sort of, coming down here, all dressed in, with the white coat, the white hat. What's your initial thoughts seeing this entrance, NXSteve?
I've always found like the idea of the god kind of aspect of it pretty cringe, but it kind of makes sense in this particular role because obviously it's HBK and he's supposed to present the light and the Undertaker's the darkness. Like we all remember how Vince McMahon famously tried wrestling God once, and it was like. But this is fine. This I can allow this. It makes sense for the story and the history that these two have kind of just makes all sense altogether. Not sure if I'm a fan of the brown though. That's the only thing with his outfit.
It's always a weird feeling with Shawn Michaels wearing brown. Of course, he famously won the World Heavyweight Championship of the Elimination Chamber, of course, back in 2002 at the Survivor Series. That was an interesting choice on the day. So yeah, brown is not probably Shawn's color, if we're being honest here, but at the same time, certainly. A very epic entrance here from the Heartbreak Kid as he's making his way to the ring, making a prayer as well on the entrance just before the fireworks go off, and the epic stage as well. Just ignore 25th anniversary. Just see WrestleMania 25 is all you need to see with that. But for me personally, looking at the staging, obviously the crowd as well. This is special looking at this, and obviously many call this to be the greatest WrestleMania match of all time. And I've only had the luxury of watching this match a couple of times. I didn't watch it when it happened. I only got to see it for the first time probably around maybe 2017. So how many times have you had to see this match? Have you had the luxury, or is this the first time for you?
Probably I could probably count on one hand the amount of times I've probably seen this match. I'm gonna go with a low ball figure and say probably once, and it's been a long time since I've seen it, so it's always good to go back and watch it because, like I said, it's like you said, it's arguably one of the greatest WrestleMania matches of all time. So, hey, it's the whole point of this watch along series, isn't it? To watch these great matches again, and like I said, I think I'm more excited for it because I don't remember a lot of the match. That's the thing as well, because I've only seen it obviously the one time. So it's kind of like watching a fresh match, if I'm honest. So I'm excited to see what happens.
Absolutely, and I kind of had that same feeling watching this as well, because obviously when you look at it with, you know, I remember the Undertaker sort of dive over the top rope not being perfect, but that's like the one nitpick of the whole match. It's meant to be like perfect from start to finish, and I remember watching it thinking, "Wow, this is an awesome match." But like you say, we've seen some great matches during this series to this point. I mean, look, you know, Shawn and Razor, the ladder match of WrestleMania 10, Brett and Owen being from the same show. We've seen Brett versus Austin, of course, the submission match from WrestleMania 13. We've seen some great WrestleMania matches, Rhea versus Charlotte, and we are going to follow this. Obviously, we're live right now. We're going to be following this live after this with Cody versus Roman for WrestleMania 39 as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what at the end of this series, what we think is the best match we've seen. But this is kind of like, you know, when people say what's the best WrestleMania, the traditional meant to be correct answer is WrestleMania X7. The traditional correct answer is meant to be this match when it's the best match in WrestleMania history. So let's see if we agree, and let's see if you're watching along. That's right, I'm talking to you. Let us know if you agree as well in the comments below. And let us know your memories of this match, and let us know, you know, if you actually feel differently now to what you did back then as well. It'll be interesting to know your thoughts and feelings as The Undertaker making, of course, that epic entrance of his own, of course. And usually it takes a bit of time for The Undertaker to get to the ring. But we are in the period where Undertaker's having show stealer after show stealer every WrestleMania. And this is arguably the start of a 4-year journey for The Undertaker after this, because, of course, we have Shawn Michaels here. At this point, he's 16-0 at WrestleMania. And next year, of course, he will take on Shawn, the career versus streak match. Follow them with Triple H actually coming in to defend Shawn, of course, for WrestleMania 27. And then it finishes with end of an era, you know, Undertaker versus Triple H with Shawn Michaels as a special guest referee at WrestleMania 28. So this is a fun little series of great matches that come through at WrestleMania here. And you see Shawn now just staring, watching Undertaker make that long, slow, you know, psychological entrance there, and obviously the fire there coming as well. Very fascinating stuff. Just what a spectacle to see this with all the smoke as well. Yeah, Undertaker arguably has one of the best entrances in wrestling ever.
Yeah, I think it's probably the most iconic. Like, just from you can tell from the initial gong that the crowd gets. It's him and Austin. Like, obviously, Austin is with the glass break. With Taker, it's the gong, and it's kind of like they are entrance musics that will live on forever. Like, no matter how old you are or how young you are, do you know what I mean? Even new fans in the future will know when you hear the gong, it's Undertaker. When you hear the glass, you know it's your ass. Do you know what I mean? They just they're just historic, man. You can't really argue with it. But yeah, just back on the history. I mean, obviously Shawn goes through this period from like 20 through to like 25, 26, where he just has killer match after killer match after killer match at WrestleMania. Aside from 22, which I think is where he faces Vince, but otherwise every other match in that calendar is just phenomenal. So, like I said, it's almost like we've got prime Shawn Michaels at this point.
Absolutely. And think, well, is there a time that's not prime Shawn Michaels? I feel, and then I'm sure most people say Crown Jewel, probably 2018. Yeah, that's probably the one time when you've been retired for like 8 years. But,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's already well past his. He's already well past his prime at that point. He'd already retired at that point, so I can't really criticize him for wrestling a match that he probably actually didn't want to do, and it was just the fact that he was probably paid a substantial amount of money to do it. And I'm not going to knock the guy for wanting to get paid for doing it, but yeah, I mean, I can't off the top of my head think of a bad Shawn Michaels match aside from that one. So, do you know what I mean? That's why they name him Mr. WrestleMania.
absolutely. If you can name it, everyone, put it in the comments. That's what we would say. Let us know if there is there such thing as a bad Shawn Michaels match. We don't think it exists. But Undertaker still making an entrance, and feels like we're going to have a long one, folks. Strap yourselves in. But obviously, we know that what we're waiting for, it's going to be an epic match once it does get started. And I was just seeing Undertaker now, the big coat's coming off, and obviously the hat will come off as well. And at that point, we get to hit the ring bell, and we get to talk about this match as it breaks down. It's going to be a fun time indeed. And obviously, you know, we talk about the history there. Obviously, it goes back to like the 90s with these two. And obviously, one of the things that was famous as well with this is obviously the streak. Obviously, is with the Undertaker. And Undertaker had not beaten Shawn Michaels in these matches. I mentioned Hell in a Cell, for example, back in 1997 at Bad Blood. Shawn Michaels won that. Of course, it was with the help of Kane, but he won that. They drew the month previous at Ground Zero. So Shawn had there was a legitimate feeling of like, well, Shawn's never lost to the Taker like this is. So there is actually a plausible chance that Shawn could win the match.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think when Taker's streak really started becoming a thing. I mean, it's probably got to be around about 11 or 12 that it started becoming a thing, really, didn't it? So
Yeah.
this is not really infancy, but it's still a young sort of a young thing where people are like, I want to take that streak from Taker. And every year it always got to the same thing, and it was kind of like, it's kind of like, will someone beat Roman now? Do you know what I mean? But it's like, will someone beat the Undertaker?
Yeah, it's almost like the hardest thing to ever do is like if you have a match with the Undertaker at WrestleMania, you know, you think yourself, God, my work's cut out for me on this particular show here. But the two are finally squared off and squared up in the ring here, and obviously Taker trying to get some strikes in early. Shawn Michaels has ducked a couple of chops in the corner, but certainly playing a bit more of a defensive start here, Michaels, in this one, which is an interesting approach.
This is a very, very obviously physically fit, physically capable Undertaker as well. Like he is.
Mm.
This was the thing I always liked about Taker was his speed is scary for a guy his size. Like he can move fast, and that was always one of the things that I liked when you get him in these kinds of matches. Like he's going to run. He's going to run the ropes. He's going to obviously do crazy bumps and all this kind of stuff. So this is prime Undertaker as well from that point of view.
I would agree with Prime Undertaker. Some of my favorite Taker matches and rivalries are around this time period here. And obviously, the hands are around Shawn Michaels' throat nice and early. He's getting thrown into the corner, literally gone over the corner there. Shawn hits her right there, climbing back into the ring, climbing to the second rope.
Shawn tells him to suck it.
Exactly.
Oh, now we've already got an injury.
There, yeah, look at that. He's looks to have knocked the knee. Although goes for a
Little
Lou
bit of
French
a
press there. Lovely. Superb rights there. But yeah, some of my favorite. Go on.
I was going to say, just talking about the streak quickly. I can't remember where it was reported, but apparently Taker wanted Bray to be the one to break his streak, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, that would have made a lot of sense around the time period. I think that Taker, in my opinion, had been going that long. He probably should have made the choice, if we're being brutally honest. But
yeah, it should have been.
I suppose you can't argue with how it turned out in hindsight, but that certainly was questionable at the time period. Maybe at a very later time now, you could perhaps question it again. But certainly, when you look at the years of how it progressed with storylines and building stars for the future and stuff, it certainly had its way of making new stars going forward. And you know, see now the Undertaker now has been taking advantage of Shawn in the corner, but Shawn gets a kick in there. Gets another right hand for his trouble here. It's starting a bit of a slugfest to kick off here. Very aggressive start from these two.
The good thing as well is, like, obviously when Undertaker, oh, there we go, the typical Michaels whip over the top rope. Oh, he's actually reversed it. He didn't get the full rotation, but there we go. Nice back body drop there by the Taker on Shawn Michaels. But I remember when Taker first come on the scene and he was seen as this phenom and people were terrified to do anything to him because, you know what I mean? He'd do things like the sit up and it would just freak people out. But obviously, these two have been wrestling each other for like 20-something years at this point, and it's kind of like it's good to see Michaels not be afraid to take on Undertaker.
Absolutely there, and a body press slam there from the Taker. Then we get our first proper pinfall in the match there. Shawn kicking out a 1 there. Fantastic. Scott Retro Wrestling in House of Us. Thank you, Scott, for joining us. This is actually reviewing this show tomorrow. Fantastic. Look forward to the full review. I can imagine this is going to be probably his favorite match of the show as well. But Scott, hope you're well, my friend, and thank you for joining us here in the video. And yeah, obviously, let us know. Let us know, because you do a lot of retro wrestling, Scott. Is there a bad Shawn Michaels match? We're trying to think of one. We can't think of one off the top of our heads.
Even his comedy matches, like the famous one that is the tag team match with him and Triple H, like where Triple H oversells a bump. It's just phenomenal. Some classic old school there from Taker as well.
Absolutely. Just say Crown Jewel 2018 is not counting. We're actually talking about Shawn's actual prime career. As I'm sure anyone that watches goes, I've got one. Taking a missing the big boot there, going crashing into the corner. He's managed to land all right into the ring, though, which is quite good for him here. But Shawn immediately looks like he's going to target that left leg there of the Undertaker there. Atomic drop there, but landing the leg onto the knee. Followed by chop block there. Taker goes down. Yeah, superb.
So now we've got the focal point of the story. This is the point where this is what Shawn's going to do to try and keep him down now.
Yeah, absolutely. Form of an Inzaguri style kick there from Shawn as well.
Oh, do you know what? I do miss Sean's luscious long hair as well. Like seeing him with such a buzz cut now, because obviously I presume he's going bald now in his old age, but he had such his hair is like AJ Styles' hair. Do you know what I mean? It's just majestic. It's beautiful hair, and unfortunately, he hasn't got it no more.
Things change, sadly. Scott Retro Wrestling does say you could argue WrestleMania 22 against Vince, although he does love that match. Basically, he kicks Vince's ass. I mean, to be fair, it's hard to argue with that. Then, Scott, obviously, some news for you while we're live. By the way, Clash of the Castle of Scotland. Will you be heading? Will you be attending? Let us know.
It's a very small. It's a very small crowd. Apparently, it's only like 12,000 this year. Like not compared to Cardiff's 60 something thousand. Yeah, apparently it's small venue. So I imagine them tickets are going to go really fast.
We'll see how it'll go, but exciting still though for the UK to get another premium live event here. So Figure 4 leg lock is applied here at this moment from Shawn to Taker. Bit of nature there involved in this.
Maybe stolen it from a couple of years before. Where is it? A couple of years before, where it's Shawn versus Flair, isn't it?
Yeah, it is indeed WrestleMania 24. So it's just the year earlier. But one of Taker's rights there, just see it knock Shawn silly. His facial was hilarious to watch there. Drop kick to the knee.
With this, without remembering too much of this match, I'm really hoping we see some old school wrestling. Do you know what I mean? I want to see like a tie up in the ropes. Do you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure there must be something like that in this match. But again, we've only seen this match probably once in my life. It's again watching a fresh match. But like these two are really old school wrestlers. So I'm hoping to see some of that.
Absolutely. Shawn, they've just been put into the corner once again, now suffering some of Taker's rights once again. As we made mention to Clash at the Castle of Scotland, apparently the Hydro is tiny. So it's an arena show, smaller show, but he's off work that weekend. So he's going to be looking at rooms. Scott, we hope you could be in attendance. It'd be fantastic if you get to go to that show.
Apparently you can pre-buy your tickets. Like you can pay a deposit to guarantee a ticket.
Oh,
which is a first.
That's a first. It sounds not a bad idea, to be fair. Shawn's up there. Tombstone position, but it looks like it's going to be Snake Eyes into the corner there, followed by a big boot. Yeah, the speed as well. And Shawn just his facials as he goes down. I mean, it's not silly. He's brilliant.
Yeah, but even like the simplest thing, like rotating on that big boot. Do you know what I mean? And not just taking a straight back bump. He's like done a rotation to add like G-force to the move.
Absolutely. Taker looks like he's going for the choke slam there for the first time in the match. Shawn is taking his time to get up, though. A bit groggy after being hit by a leg drop as well. It was a pinfall attempt, which he kicked out of 2. Shawn has countered. Crossface instead.
Kind of like now we're in the rest period mode, and it's like, what? Well, I'm just waiting for the next moment now where we can carry on.
Well, I could hear there that Jerry Lawler had said there that Undertaker, obviously, no surprise, Jack, that he's not tapped out before. So I mean, yeah, it's an interesting proposition and an idea that Shawn is going for submission holds here during this one, but it's counted down to a pinfall attempt, and Shawn seems to bring it back here. But it's an interesting style of the crossface because Taker's kind of laying on his side here. It's not fully applied to the best of its ability.
That's the excuse for obviously it being not a complete submission, and obviously Taker can get himself out of it. It's these little details like that when you watch it back and you turn around and go, "This is why." Do you know what I mean? It's not fully locked. Do you know what I mean? They always do it. It's not fully locked in. Do you know what I mean? So Taker's probably not going to tap.
Well, he got it there fully locked in, but Taker is looking to stand. He's looking to break out of the move here.
We go for a backdrop.
Look at this here. Wow. Oh, sidewalks down there, and the sell from Shawn Michaels with the backers. We can't forget the back injury of Shawn, of course, that's cost him 4 years of his career. So every time he does land on his back, it's always one of those wincing moments.
That was when he was commissioner at one point, wasn't it?
It was indeed. I think he was commissioner in 99, perhaps around that sort of time period. Could have been before,
4 years, man. Imagine the matches we've missed in that time period.
Absolutely, yeah, far too many. I mean, it was still for me to this day one is what ifs, and we could have done for a WrestleMania what if video. I would have loved to have seen Shawn Michaels versus The Rock, a match we never got to see.
Yeah. Some great chops
Chopstick now. Got some woos as well. Good counter from the taker down to the ropes then. Oh, lovely. Lovely forearm from Shawn. Well,
are we going to get it? Are we going to get a kip up by Shawn and then the sit up by Taker?
It's those little details.
Oh no, Taker's getting up normally. That's for later.
Well, Scott Retro Wrestling did say that of all the shows reviewed so far, all the Shawn Michaels matches are great. Although
I've really done it.
Although the last man standing match against Triple H Rumble 04, good match, finish was rubbish. So there we go. Of course, if I'm not mistaken, Scott, I believe the finish of that match is a draw, if I'm not mistaken.
I can never understand why they do it on pay-per-views. Never. It's a TV show move. I can never understand why they do stuff like that. It's so stupid.
Shawn's looking to get to the top rope. Taker is laying in the canvas right now. Crowd again. If there's
the setup.
There we go. Looking at Goozle catching Shawn. They're coming off the top rope. Chokeslam. No, countered.
That's a bad super kick.
It never connected. Taker there. Literally, just he's got his counter. He ducked. He got out of the way of it.
Triangle lock.
Yeah. Countering a figure 4 attempt here.
See, this is what I mean. Using his feet to get out of a submission move. Just great improvisation, great storytelling. Do you know what I mean? The fact that he knows he can't lift the guy up, but doing anything to possibly get out of the submission move. Like I said, we was talking about this in the I believe it was the Razor match, the ladder match we reviewed, and the fact that when Shawn takes, it's Seth I'm thinking of against Randy, but the fact that it looks so much better when you do the little things like that when Seth takes the classic Randy Orton DDT, but his legs are still draping over the ropes and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Shawn there just taking a bump into the steps there. Been put back into the ring now. Could we be getting one of Taker's famous leg drops here off the ring apron? Looks like it could be coming.
Simple little boot to the head. This is the bit that you're waiting for it to pick back up again. We got the slow. We're going to probably see. I'm going to guess and say that Shawn's going to reverse it. Yep, there we go.
Yeah, just reverse it. Too much time taken. Really felt the moment there, and Taker there. That's not going to help the leg, although it is the other leg in theory, but it's certainly going to help the legs at that moment.
Does this mean that's the pickup point again now, where we're going to pick up the pace again now because Shawn's going to go against the ropes. Baseball slide takes Taker down.
You can see though now that both guys are starting to tire a little bit here, but Shawn looking like he could be going to the turnbuckles here. Could we be looking at a moonsault potentially?
Not something that Michaels uses normally in his everyday wrestling vocabulary. Do you know what I mean? But keep balance. Oh,
he missed.
That sucked.
That's going to be sore in the morning. I mean, Taker literally just sort of moved to it wasn't Samoa Joe, but instead of just walking away, not looking, he kind of made sure that the momentum was just pushed down to the ground. Yeah,
it was like I'll be honest, a poorly executed crossbody, but geez, that had to hurt. So we'll look at that again. Oh no! To be fair, it's not that bad actually. I probably looked worse than the initial, but the replay is actually a good turn. But Taker just literally gets out of the way of it.
We'll have a little bit of time in the meantime, and Scott Rich Wrestling does say that he was supposed to do Mania 9, but unfortunately it's going to be out tonight. But the match against the Tonka could be the worst one there. I would agree that match, but again, it's the same as the Triple H match. The match is actually not a bad match. It's one of the best matches on WrestleMania 9, which probably shows what we got for the rest of that card. But it's the finish that's a bit wonky again. I think that, again, they will book themselves into a corner. But the referee is attending to Shawn Michaels. Taker is up. He's looking a bit groggy. But this could be that famous spot here coming now in the match where Taker goes off the ropes, over the top rope. Cameraman's pulled in away. And goodness.
Whoa. Yeah, the thing is you have to watch it again to see how he landed. Because to me, that just looks like he comes straight down on his head.
Looks like it. I think he's okay. But yeah, goodness. Does his feet get caught on the ropes? We have to.
Yeah, I think
replay.
his feet catch the top rope just as he goes over, and that's what stops him from getting the rotation.
Oh,
so ooh.
Well, both of the guys.
It's it's the same as watching a pole driver. Do you know what I mean? You just wince every time.
Absolutely. It's not often in a WrestleMania match, though. You see the two superstars down, the referee down, and the cameraman all at the same time. We're about to get the replay now here. The Undertaker's going to run the ropes now. Shawn pushes the ref, pulls the guy. Undertaker does get over. It just
doesn't rotate.
Yeah, it looks like he's going for a dive in the pool, if we're being brutally honest.
It looks like swan dive. Yeah, it looks like he's trying to do Assassin's Creed more than, doing a rotation.
I mean, if
there's no Baylor Hay there.
Yeah, exactly. If it's up the top diving board, it's a perfect 10 from me. But yeah, from the execution in the wrestling match here, I think that that could have been bad. Could have been bad. Thankfully for the Taker, he is able to finish the match. Spoiler alerts. But Scott Richardson, we said about a bad Shawn Michaels match. He has got a few bad Taker ones. I'm pretty sure even on WrestleMania 9 you could find a bad Taker one. And of course Mark Henry as well, the casket match also, which I've said a long time since I've seen that match. So my memory's not as good on that one. But that's probably the last WrestleMania.
Mark Henry.
Kind of, but it's not in his prime. He's still about 5 years away from his best work.
Gotcha.
Shawn's getting back into the ring now. He's pulling the referee in as well here.
Count him out, ref. Count him out.
He's trying.
You watch this replay. He clears the rope. He just doesn't rotate.
I mean, he does get the cameraman as well. It looks like from that camera angle there, but desperately trying to get the referee awake. You do realize, Shawn, that you should be disqualified. Nitpicking, but
hey, yeah, it's always one of the things where we turn around and go, "Well, that shouldn't have counted." Why is it like when they do like rope breaks and triple threats and all that kind of stuff? This is so stupid.
Well, I think Shawn's counting to 10, just trying to get the referee up, throwing his arm about. So let's see now how the referee's going to do with this one, because the referee now sees love a groggery for referee count. By the way,
someone get the smelling salts out. I'd like to know who the cameraman was. Do you know what I mean? If it was like an indie wrestler, or do you know what I mean? I would like to know who was supposed to take that bump.
That'd be awesome though for someone. So that's a WrestleMania memory kind of thing. Taker has gone down though as referees. 5 is a questionable 5, but yeah, he's gone for it. He's still counting. We're up to 8 now. 9. Taker's down, but Taker is going to go on that last second.
Shawn is desperate for that 10 count.
Truly is. Well, we have clarification. It was Jimmy Snuka's son who was the cameraman. Thank you very much, Scott, for that. Knowledge is power, and Scott, he's got the knowledge.
I was going to say he looked almost Samoan or do you know what I mean, Haitian, or someone from like just from the hair color and the skin color. There we go. Tuning up the band. Tippy taps. Tippy toes. You can see my tippy toes. Sorry, I have kids, man. Like every time I see stuff, it just reminds me of kids' films.
Unfortunately, same, but we've got our first choke slam there. You don't get that on kids' TV. 1, 2, kick out from Shawn.
The crowd pop from that alone is great.
Just hear Jim Ross just in prime JR, just how he's just calling this match as well. And I'm pretty sure what's an element to this that we don't perfectly get, but commentary is a big part of matches as well.
That's the one thing that, as I said, really bugs me when I go to a live event is that I get no commentary. It's like it sucks because they add. You don't realize how much commentary adds to it until you go and watch wrestling without commentary.
Of course, yeah.
Setting up for the tombstone. Shawn reverses. Super kick reversed. Another choke slam. Reversed.
Broke away.
Super kick.
Music, it's happened.
It's great. It's great.
There we go. Michael Cole screaming the streak may be over.
I had to change the audio again because it loaded up in Spanish for me as usual.
Uno, dos. And he's kicked out. There we go.
That's a good thing because I didn't know what 3 was in Spanish.
Tres. But yeah. Thank you, Offspring. But
pretty flat for a white guy. Oh dear. He's tuning up the band while lying down now.
Absolutely. Could this be the moment now we could get, like you said, the kip up and the sit up? We got the kip up. Here it comes. Look at
he's angry now.
He's angry. Looks back, he's going back to mid-90s, Shawn, the way he looked there. Oh, hello. You've walked into it. Another goozle. Hand around the throat.
Kick to the midsection.
Could be a last ride attempt. Looks like he's into the powerbomb position. Shawn's going up. Oh, he's counted it.
Sunset flip.
Counted it.
No.
Up he comes. Kicking again. It's almost like I'm not taking no for an answer here.
Do you know?
I like it.
Powerbomb, boom.
There was a bit of delay there, the way he was held up. That was very well done. 1, 2.
Oh, and another kick out
as well.
It doesn't finish unless he hits that tombstone. We all know that. We've seen enough Taker matches to know that a Taker match doesn't finish until he hits that pile driver. But great there. Great kick out. Yeah, that last ride has got some hang time on it.
Look at that. Wedgie City for Shawn there.
It was always like the Jackknife powerbomb and like the last ride, just 2 awesome powerbombs.
Literally very good power bombs indeed. There, Scott saying, I've always said this is the better match, but 26 has got the better story. I'm going to reserve my judgment on that one until I've seen the finish of this match, because I have an opinion at the start of this, but I'm not going to say it until I've seen the finish of this match. Probably gives a clue which way I'm going.
Taker going at the top rope. Oh, it's always risky when I see big men up there.
Indeed, Taker usually not usually in the comfort zone. He's got it's not for the first time. Just match, it's an empty pool, ladies and gents.
You can appreciate it though, because you sit there and think logically, like if this like in a kayfabe kind of way, it's like he's having to do something extra to try and beat this guy, and like even the simplest thing as an elbow drop off the top rope, which is not. Again, a regular move that Undertaker has in his arsenal that he's having to do to try and beat Shawn Michaels, again, which adds to this match just that little bit more.
Absolutely. The desperation attempt here.
Yeah.
Both men now taking their time, but they're both getting up. It looks to be at the same time now. Both are going to hit their feet at opposite sides of the ring as well, which is quite fun. I still love the symbolism as well. Shawn kept on the ropes. It's the 95 Rumble all over again.
Oh,
that's
what a great reversal.
Fantastic. Tombstone pile driver. The place has gone mental, by the way. 1, 2.
I thought that was it. I thought that was the face. The face is great.
It's like, what have I got to do?
That's the best face ever there. That just reminds me of Razor Shawn, that reversal, like the whole, Shawn got tied up in the ropes in the ladder match, but doing that sort of thing, just fantastic.
Just caught here. It's just there's no way out of it, but yet still he finds somehow a way to get out and kick out with this one. Fantastic. Take a space. Man. I think what
the crowd telling him to get up.
Sorry.
They said the crowd just you see the crowd in the background saying, "Get up."
But I love the fact that you're allowed to breathe in between a lot of this. They're making sure that it's kind of like you take every moment in there. Like, we really got to
100%.
feel that to its extreme, to its maximum potential of what they were looking to deliver story wise there. As JR's
Yeah.
line there as well, it's an out of body experience. It truly is. It feels like that for Taker there. But now, no nonsense Taker there. Now he's got the symbol there. He's going for it again.
He's taking
Shawn
the
looks
straps are down.
Mm.
He's done the emote. Sean's selling is like a limp body. He's just great.
He does a perfect job here, but of course,
A slightly rough DDT, but it's still a great reversal.
it's a great reversal. Into the terms of the story, it's certainly acceptable.
Taker almost it basically falls on him. Go for a one-handed cover. Go on.
Sean's going the wrong way. Not thinking about the cover. I think he's thinking getting to that corner. I think we could be going for Sweet Chin Music again. Or is he going to go for the elbow drop? He's going outside. Shawn is looking to go up top.
But look at that, there's the struggle to pull himself up. Selling the fatigue, the tiredness.
There is no one like Shawn Michaels. No one like Shawn.
Yeah. It's amazing that of an entire generation of wrestling that there was, do you know what I mean? There was him, and like Owen was close to the levels of what he could do.
Beautiful.
But there was only him that would do this kind of selling. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just
you think for all the rest.
Go on.
But just gonna say, for all the wrestlers that we've had through this generation, like, you think that he goes through the Attitude Era, then he goes through the this is obviously ruthless aggression and all that kind of stuff, and the amount of wrestlers, but there's no one like Shawn Michaels. It's crazy.
It's incredible. It really is.
Here we go.
Shawn's now tuning up that band one more time. Tuning up the band. Almost the way, though, Taker knows what's coming, as all the fans are counting along. Here it comes.
Oh!
Perfect.
Great connection.
Perfect. Slight delay into the cover, but hooks the leg. Here we go. 1, 2.
That crowd pop.
The crowd pop is incredible.
Kayfabe turns. I've always thought tuning up the band is the dumbest thing in the world, because it's kind of like, I'm going to kick you in the face now, and I'm going to do it. It's such a stupid thing, but it's storytelling in it.
Absolutely. Scott says here that Shawn was that good in the second round. That's why he's in his all-time top 5. It's not a bad position to be. Their top 5 of all time there.
I think I criminally underrate Shawn Michaels, like, for the amount of great stuff he's done over the years. I don't know why. It's not that I don't rate him as a top wrestler. I just like, in terms of top 5, I don't understand why I've never really put him in that category.
He's always been up there as the top for me.
Yeah.
Favorite wrestlers RVD, just because of just preference and the originality of the moveset. But when you look into storytelling and stuff, there's no one like Shawn, and Shawn has the ability to do a lot of that stuff as well. And I just feel Shawn's, even his first run, I think he had some incredible matches, plenty of 5-stars in there. But yeah, the second one is arguably as good, if not better, than the first, and that just shows the testament to Shawn of how good he was. But now these two are slugging out now.
Blow for blow, Taker stumbling and then getting straight back up again.
I love it. Look at this.
Oh! Shawn was waiting for that one. You could see, I caught Shawn's face just before, and he's like, there's a big boot coming here. I can see it coming.
I'm not getting out of the way of this. There's no way.
Here we go.
Back up
Sorry,
for another
Shawn. Oh
tombstone.
no,
No,
he's
Sean's
trying to
looking to
get out of
counter
it.
again. The elbows are hitting.
Oh, another chop. And another
Second.
one. And another one. And another.
It's going to be red chest in the
Hey,
morning.
unfortunately, it's no Gunter chops, unfortunately.
No. Take a running full
Great
speed.
reversal.
Takes a boot there. Great reversal indeed. Is this on your WWE
Yeah, I mean,
2K24 showcase mode?
I don't think this is, you know. No, in fact, it is. It is in there. Yes, it is in there because I know I had to do because I can't remember. I think you play as Taker, and Shawn is an absolute nightmare to wrestle against. Like he's so because of the way obviously the stats and the dynamic work on it. It's there's so many things like Shawn's reversal attempts. He just reverses everything. He's a pain in the ass. Excuse my French.
There we go. Well, let's see now.
Oh, there we go.
The
Just
perfect
great.
catch of that moonsault into a tombstone. Wow.
1, 2,
It's
boom, done.
freak out. What a match.
What a match.
Particularly, the final third is head and shoulders one of the best final thirds to a match I've ever seen. I'm going to be controversial. I actually think the 26 Mania match is better because I think that the
I
first,
can't remember 26 if I'm honest.
I think it's just the thing that there's more on the line of obviously career versus streets.
There's probably was to say,
higher at the time. And it just for me as well, like I don't know, the match is brilliant. There's no arguments with that, but I've always been preferable to 26. But I can see why a lot of people think this is the greatest
finish, the symbolism, stand at the top of the ramp, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
absolutely, yeah. Would you, of all the matches we've seen, obviously the title is this the greatest match in WrestleMania history? We've seen some great matches. Is this the best one you've seen?
I mean, obviously, it's not perfect. No wrestling match ever is perfect. Do you know what I mean? But I think mainly you have to put it down to who's in the ring, and the fact that you've got the Mr. WrestleMania himself, and you've got Prime Undertaker. This probably is the best match we've watched. Like you've got. There we go. This is great here. This reversal here from when he's on the ropes to put him up straight into a tombstone is just fantastic. Like I said, when you've got Prime Undertaker who can do a lot of the things like he doesn't do anymore, and you've got Shawn Michaels who, like I said, is Mr. WrestleMania. This probably is the best match we've watched. Like as much as I loved every other match we've watched, like Brett versus Austin is a very close second for me because I loved that match. That is like a core memory of wrestling, that match for me.
Yeah.
But this is just simply fantastic.
It's a simply fantastic match. There's no doubt about it. I mean, to spoiler alert, 5 stars. This just isn't not getting anything less. It's 5-star. I think we all knew that coming into this, but and that catch there for the finish is absolutely incredible as well. But yeah, this is up there with some of the best. As a personal preference, Austin and Brett, that double term match means more to me personally. And like I said, there's no right or wrong answer. This is just everybody's opinion on it. But so for me, I think that's my favorite one of the series. But like you say, this one I think is definitely the second spot here, or it's in the top spots there.
Yeah,
just
it's like you could argue which one between those two matches, which one's one and which one's two. Like, yeah, it's just. Like I said, I think, it's like I said, there's pros and cons to both matches. Like, you'll probably never be able to unanimously get an agreement out of 1,000 people. It'd still probably come down to a 50-50 split.
Absolutely. Of course, we actually did the greatest match of WrestleMania history on a video of a YouTube collaboration, of course, at one point. And NXT, if I'm not mistaken, you were TLC 2 is your personal.
I did pick TLC 2. TLC 2, yeah, I know. Do you know what it was like? When I did that, it was like I watched a load of matches. Like I went through everything. Like this, like because this is like one of two. Like obviously you have this one, you have the one next year. It was kind of like, and like, but with TLC 2 for me, like I'm a massive tag team wrestling fan, and that match from start to go, I just pops the whole way through, and I'm a tag team wrestling fanboy. But this is great. Like I said, TLC 2 probably is my favorite match of all time, but I'm not going to deny Taker and Michaels the right to be called the greatest match of all time.
Absolutely not. I'm sure many people call it, and for those that do, certainly have that. My vote would go to take a Triple H End of an Era 28, just because, again, it's another match that's my personal favorite match of all time. But this one, I mean, it's a part of that series, this match. And to be fair, we're calling epic match after epic match after epic match. So, and we got a couple of comments from Scott Retro Wrestling just to finish off. And this is the perspective, which I completely agree with. The fact is, it's 15 years old, and it's a 15-year anniversary near enough that we're doing this on near enough, and you two are still enjoying it, absolutely loving it from start.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of why I suppose it's a good thing that I don't watch too much retro stuff that often, because, like I said to you, I've probably seen that match once, maybe twice in my entire lifetime, and can still enjoy it. And like I said, that's why, again, that leads back into TLC 2. TLC 2, for the 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 times I've seen it, it still makes me pop every time, which is just a massive thing for me.
Absolutely. No, that's the specialness of these matches as well. Scott goes and say Rock versus Austin Mania 17, my favorite match, but I can see why people have this as their favorite. But his other favorite match, maybe is the number one. Is Shawn Michaels and Kurt from WrestleMania 21, which is certainly one I would like to do in this series next year, because we will be doing these watch longs again next year.
Didn't unfortunately get to do all of them this year, unfortunately, the ones we did have planned.
Unfortunately, time went against us with so much going on. But one thing we can say, though, is we're not done today. So for people that are watching this live, and for people that are watching this, right now, they can actually go and see that there's another link and another video starting in a couple of seconds. We're going to WrestleMania 39, Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. We look forward to seeing you there with us in a couple of minutes' time. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, share with a friend, subscribe as well, and we'll catch you for the next one.